Hello everyone. In today's training session, we will be covering the QR code once again. My last video was related with AX 2009, which is now very old version, but many of the clients are still using AX 2009. So the required changes are now implemented in AX 2012 with minor changes. So I would like you to review those changes and how to achieve the QR code in AX 2012 sales invoice. So sales invoice you can get from this is a Contoso environment. Contoso is an example company from Microsoft. And here in account receivable, for example, I am using USMF, which is a US based legal entity. And I will be using few of the invoice journal which are already posted against sales order. So, and here I have personalized few fields in order to show them. Normally sales text fields are not shown in the default header of invoice journal. So I have enabled by personalizing using this personalize and add field. If you already don't know about this functionality, just add field, and if there are extra fields which are not visible from the table behind it, you can easily select and add it. So I have already added. So the sales tax amount, sales tax group, item sales tax group, these fields are relevant with VAT also, value added tax. So I have shown these fields, and now you can see there are few invoices having sale tax amount or VAT amount. You can consider this as a VAT because VAT is implemented as a part of existing sale tax engine. So this invoice amount is already having the VAT amount inside it included. Sale invoice amount plus VAT amount is already shown here. So the field behind it, you can easily find this is some tax field which is holding this value, and for the amount invoice amount field is available in cust invoice jar table. So if you open it, like so you can see here the QR code is displayed, and this QR code is scannable by the application which is provided by the government authority in order to check the functionality is working okay, fine. So I will just embed that also how it looks. So this is the QR code which is basically showing the company name, the total amount, the sale tax amount, that is a VAT amount, that is inside it, and then there is a tax number. Tax registration number is appearing here. So in your case it will be definitely Arabic invoice or fatura, which will show your rakamul dariba or tax number. So that will be appearing also part of this QR code. There will be 5 factors or 5 field values which will be shown in this. One value is also invoice date, which is 15 of January 2011. So I will just show you this as a picture as well, and will explain how it looks. So now what are the changes which are required in order to achieve the result? So I will just show you the project itself. So only the change required are, for example, you need to create a container type EDT. Container type will hold the information in encrypted form, so that EDT need to be created, and that is easy to create. Just right click, go to new data dictionary and extended data type and select the container type here. So once you have selected the container type, then just give it a name and also a label. And once it is done, then there is a table called sales invoice header footer temp, which holds the footer or header information about sales text, sales invoice. So there you can just drag and drop this field, and once you have drop it, so it will just create a field like of type container. And you can see here the type is container and the field name is apparent, and then extended data type is the same which we have created. So once you have done this, you need to just synchronize the table change because there is a data dictionary change, so it will commit the changes to SQL Server database. So these are two changes in order to hold the QR code value in the field as a container. There is another change which will be done in DP class, data provider class. Basically, there are contract class, controller, and DP. But you only need to change the DP class, which is working behind this report, sales invoice report, and it is used for business logic or calculation, which will be shown basically on sales invoice. So this class is used for the calculation of business logic. So what are the changes? Basically, there will be only two new method added here. There will be one method which will be inserting the value of QR code into the temporary table, and there is one more change in class declaration. I will open only these four methods. So to start with class declaration, if you go at the bottom, I have given a documentation comment, and here again the integer value of byte array index is stored, used as a counter or array index, and then there is a byte array declared here. And then there are two methods basically, and this is the main method, QR code fill byte array, which will be called every time for each of the 5 values. So for each time there will be one tag. Tag is a serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 fields. So every time a tag serial number is passed here, and then there is a length of the that array row, so that string can hold a length, and then there itself a byte array string will be passed here, which will be basically setting up these values into the byte array. So this logic is you need to just copy this logic, and this is basically setting the value here, and then it is setting the length value, tag value, length value, and then there is a string value that is through loop it is set here, and based upon the byte array string get length, whatever the length is, till then this loop will be called, and it will be setting the value for each of the byte. So this is the method which is now used in QR code method. Basically this is a display method, but there is no need of a display. Even without display only it is returning a container value. Without display this will also work, but since I have already used as a display method in AX 2009, which are X++ reports, so the same method is copied here. So the only change is the parameter cust invoice jar is being passed here as per the existing logic, which I will show you just a moment in a moment. And then again there are different variable types which will be used as a QR string, 5 value types, and these are, and then string QR code base 64 to hold the actual value, the whole value of QR code. And this is the whole logic. You can find a link under the video from where you can get easily copy paste it, and there is no need of even DLL. Already it is there in AX 2012. AX 2009 required that DLL, but in 2012 there is no need of this. So then at the bottom you can see the cust invoice jar. From my previous video, this is the different, because now cust invoice jar is being passed and the value is taken from this header buffer. Cust invoice jar and cust invoice trans, these are two tables which are holding basically the posted invoice header and posted invoice lines. So cust invoice jar will hold the tax amount and the invoice amount, and from here you can see the company information. The table buffer is passing the name, and registration number or tax registration number is being passed. Then cust invoice jar invoice date is being passed here. You can see the date time is being embedded here, and then you can see there is some tax which is the VAT amount, total amount is assigned here, and apart from this the invoice amount is also assigned here. This is the change from my previous video. So these lines will hold the changes, and then yeah, rest of the things are same, and it will basically call the other method which I have just explained, and passing the value which is now assigned to the string variables. And this is the tag number, this is the length of that string, and this is the string in UTF 8 after encoding it. So these are 4 line of code which will be calling the other method which I have just explained in order to fill the byte array. So once it is done, so then it will be converted to base 64 string. And I have commented the info log. This was just testing, so you can just easily remove it. But if you want to test it how it looks after encryption, you can put an info log. It will be appearing on the dev box. So then it will be converted to bitmap, and then the file will be loaded because it will be stored in a temporary folder on the server level. So and then revert assert, because we are using .NET library here. So these are two methods, and now I will show you how this method is being called in the insert into sales invoice header footer temp method, which is basically responsible to populate sales invoice header footer temporary table, which I have already shown you how I have added the field there, container type. So in this method only there is a single line of code now needed, and cast invoice jar is already parameter value here, so we will be using the same value. So where it is, let me, yeah, here. So cast invoice jar is being passed here to the method, and once it is passed, so the method will return a container value, and that value will be assigned to this temporary table field. So this is the total method which will be calling within it the other QR code fill byte array method. So this is the whole logic behind. These are the changes. 4 methods, not 4 method, rather 2 new method and 1 existing method which is modified, and the fourth one is the class declaration, where we need to declare these global level variable. So once we have done it, then there are changes on the sales invoice report itself. So that report is here in front of you in Visual Studio. You just need to open it. If you have been already working on sales invoice, so might be you have a custom report, but if it is out of the box report, you can just right click and edit the DEX model project, which is under I will show you Visual Studio project node of AOT application object tree, and within that DEX model project or Dynamics AX model project, and with the name of sales invoice. Even if you don't find it, that is okay. You can just go to SSRS reports and find the sales invoice report here, and you can just right click and edit or add to project. It is up to you. If you already have a project, so no need to you know, add to project. So you just need to edit it, and the report will be open. Once the report is open, you can just go to the design, which is report only. The other designs are localized design for a specific country functionality. Before that, you need to do one more thing, is go to dataset, which is the sales invoice header footer DS, and just right click and refresh, because you have already added a field to the temporary table and synchronize that table, and but the field should be shown here. So for that you might need to refresh so that field is shown, and I will show you. This is the field here. Okay, so this is our new field. So once it is done, you can just right click edit using designer, and once inside the design node, you can add a new control of image type. Go to insert an image, and in the image you can give it a name and select an image source database, and then you can pick a field here. A field will be cast invoice jar field that I will show you. There are 3 basically temporary table behind it. So sales invoice header footer DS is correct table, and this is alphabetical list. So From here you can see this PKR QR code. So alphabetical sorting is already done in field level. You need to just select this field, and then you need to just select image BMP type of MIME type. So this is it. Once you press OK, so this will be created as a image control. You can enlarge as per your requirement. So I have already done. I will remove this. So this is the basically image, and once it is done, you can just build and deploy. So once it is built and deployed, and deploy will basically before deploying it will already automatically it will build the project. So once it is deployed, you can just go ahead and over any of the existing invoice, you can open the original preview, and it will show you the QR code. And the result, how it appears, I will show you in a moment, and you will see how the information is shown. That will be in the image shown. So so now you can see in the pent that this is the screenshot taken from the app on the mobile, and I have scanned the same QR code, and it is showing me the seller's name, and there is a tax number shown also, invoice date is also shown, and the time is also shown, and then there is an invoice total with VAT, and the VAT total amount is also shown here. So this is I think there is something wrong here. Actually, the VAT total amount is showing the invoice total, and invoice total is showing uh, the VAT amount. So that need to be changed here. So let me change once again. Actually, the fields are now swapped, and those need to be corrected. Okay, so we can see here the total amount invoice VAT that need to be fourth, and the other one need to be fifth. So the serial number was wrong, and I have now corrected it. So no need of deploying it again. Just I will scan. So this is the invoice. So let me scan it. So now you can see the invoice total and VAT amount is showing me correctly. Also, if I can show you side by side the invoice, you can see here the sale tax amount is 2708. This is the sale tax amount, and the total amount inclusive of sale tax or VAT is 306348.90. So this is it, and the invoice date is also shown here. It is 15th of January 2011, and the tax number and the company name, which is Contoso Entertainment System USA. In this way, we have completed this complete assignment. The code, I will share the code. If anyone needs that code, then they can use the same functionality on their end. Thank you very much, guys. Take care. Bye bye.